It's crunch time here on The Jump. The Mavs got 26 and 17 out of Kristaps Porzingis, and it was on a back-to-back. Ramona, we call this man the unicorn. Why don't we see this all the time from him?
Okay, so you see those two highlights that you just showed? That's the Mavs getting him the ball. And the other night when they lost to Houston, he complained about it because he didn't get any touches in the fourth quarter, and Rick Carlisle said, okay, yeah, when we lose, we're going to talk about that. So they made an effort to get him involved early, which is what he asked for. Look at Luka, he's trying to find him, okay? So when you get the big guys involved, they tend to perform better. That's why we haven't seen it all the time, though, because not always the best at that.
Well, he's also not always available, right, Mark?
True.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly the quintessential box of chocolate player, man. You never know what you're going to get from him. One night he'll have 26, one night he'll have 12, and then he'll have a good night, and then he'll complain about his touches. There's always ego issues with him. I think we got to keep an eye on him and Doncic and, you know, whether they get along or not. But, you know, it's certainly been I guess curious to say the least, because this is a guy that should have been a superstar, an all-star a long time ago, and he just teases you and then disappoints you. So I've never been all on it, and even calling him the unicorn.
Was he trying to hit you up right there? Because I saw somebody was calling you there.
No, man, that was Matt Tumbleson from the Thunder, man. He was trying to call me. I thought my Do Not Disturb was on.
Come on, Matt Tumbleson. We love you down there in OKC.
He's doing one of the best PR guys.
One of the best PR guys. Come on.
Hey, you know what? Mark brings it up with the ego and some of that, and that has been the knock on Porzingis for a little while. The Knicks had a little issue there too. But I think what they're working through there in Dallas is he's just got to be the clear number two. Mm-hmm. He has got to be the clear number two day in and day out. One, he has to be on the court, can't get injured. Yeah. Two, you have to keep him involved. And this has been the story with big guys for time, especially in this era, where in Dallas, the best way for him to contribute to that team is to be a floor spacer.
Right.
He's great out there, but like a lot of big men, they like to get the ball on the post. They like to show off their post moves. All the way back to the Dwight Howard years here in Los Angeles, I've been covering big men who have not liked that role when you just say, hey, all we need you to do is rebound and play defense and occasionally shoot a three. Like, this is what the Mavs are trying to solve here, and that's why you've seen him traded from New York to Dallas. You heard some trade rumors this year. Until he proves he can do it every night and be that clear number two to Luka, we're going to keep talking about it.
A wise man once said the best ability is availability. Ooh. So we'll see. All right. On his podcast, The Old Man and the Three, JJ Redick said he will practice with the Mavs for the first time on Saturday. He expects to be ready to play in a couple of games. So, Mark, how much can JJ help the Mavs at this stage of his career?
Oh, I mean, when you have a shooter like that, one of the deadliest shooters the game's seen, he's always going to help you. And him and Doncic on the court at the same time, anybody that could help make life easier for Doncic and take defenses maybe off of him a little bit is certainly a godsend. So I definitely like his addition, even though JJ may not be too happy about being in Dallas.
No, look, we were just talking about this with Porzingis. They need floor spacers. This is what JJ Redick does, especially at this stage of his career. Plus, you know, this is a young team that is trying to break through. They've actually had a nice run here. That loss to Houston the other night might come back to hurt them. I mean, we're going to be talking about that if they end up into the playoff tournament or the play-in tournament, depending on where they fall in the seedings there. But JJ is a guy who's been there in the playoffs. He's had success in the playoffs, and that's why they went out and got him, you know, maybe much to his chagrin.
All right, the Lakers will raise their championship banner on May 12th. That's the last home game of the season. They wanted to have fans in the building for this, obviously. And starting next week, the Lakers will welcome back their first home crowd. So, Ramona, will having the fans back at Staples Center make a difference for these guys?
I'm telling you, I have talked to a lot of players in the league, and especially here on the Lakers. Like, this is a big issue for them having fans in that court, because they in some ways play better on the road when there are certain arenas in the league that have had fans. They're really looking forward to that. It's strange for me being in LA. Like, the Lakers and the Dodgers won championships, but if you win a championship in the middle of a pandemic and no one's there to celebrate it, did it really happen? I mean,
it happens.
It's so weird. I mean, like, are they going to have a parade? I mean, you know, at least they get the banner up before the start of the next playoffs, but I'm happy for the Lakers and the fans here in Los Angeles that they at least get to do this before the next playoffs start.
Well, I wish it was next Thursday when they allow fans back into the Staples Center.
Yep.
But, you know, LeBron and AD may not be back then, so it's probably very smart to wait to the end of the season. And, you know, that's a good game or a game with guys sitting out that you need to sell tickets. So from a business standpoint, I get it.
All right, quickly here. Tomorrow, Lakers face the Nets in Brooklyn at 8:30 Eastern on ABC. Ramona, tomorrow's game, who is it more important for, Quickly, we got 10 seconds here.
Definitely
Lakers
the
or Nets?
The Lakers just trying to get home in one piece at this point. Nets need to win this because they're contending for the top spot in the East.
Mark?
No, Ramona, it's the Lakers. They need it. They got to stay away from Portland and Dallas and help make it easier for LeBron and Anthony when they come back.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.